He laughed and said he was fine, but his eyes searched the room like strangers lived there. When his phone rang, he stared at it, frozen, because the name on the screen belonged to him, and he could not remember why it mattered. That was the moment everything quietly began to fall apart around us, without warning or mercy today. If this story feels close to your heart, stay with us and listen carefully, because moments like this matter too. He was always the strong one in our house. The man who fixed broken doors, remembered birthdays, and carried quiet worries alone. Lately, small things slipped. He missed turns on familiar roads. He forgot simple words, then laughed it off. We blamed stress, long nights, and the weight of bills. He said he was tired. We believed him because belief felt safer than fear. Mornings became slower. He stared at his coffee as if waiting for it to explain itself. Sometimes he asked the same question twice, then 3 times, then apologized. I watched his hands shake when he searched for keys already in his pocket. Still, life moved forward. Work needed him. Family needed him. He kept showing up, even when his mind arrived late. There were moments when he looked at me with panic, just for a second, like he was falling through a hole only he could see. Those seconds scared me more than shouting ever could, because silence made the danger feel real and close. And I pretended not to notice because love can be stubborn. One evening, he stood in the hallway and called my name, but his voice sounded lost. When I answered, he asked who I was. He smiled right after, embarrassed, saying it was a joke. It was not. The joke stopped when he forgot his own name for a breath that felt endless. We went to the hospital the next morning. The lights were too bright. The chairs were too hard. Time moved in slow, cruel steps. Doctors asked questions he could not answer. Dates slipped away. Faces blurred. I answered for him, feeling like I was stealing pieces of his life. Scans followed. Waiting followed scans. Silence filled the space between heartbeats. He slept more. He woke up afraid. At home, he labeled drawers with tape. He wrote reminders on his phone, then forgot to read them. I learned how to watch someone disappear while still breathing. Friends said it would be okay. They meant well. Hope became a thin thread I held with shaking fingers, afraid to pull too hard. Every night, I searched his face for the man I knew, counting memories like beads, afraid one would snap. Each morning, he woke unsure, asking if today would finally make sense again for him. I lied and said yes, because truth felt heavier than fear in those days then. The doctor did not rush. He folded his hands and chose words like they could break. Stage 4, inoperable. The room shrank. Air turned thick. I heard crying and realized it was mine. He looked calm, almost relieved, like a missing answer had finally arrived. The doctor explained, but explanations sounded far away. Months, not years. Treatment to slow, not save. I watched his face as the future closed its doors one by one. When we stepped outside, he asked me to remind him what the doctor said. I did. He nodded, then forgot again. That was when I understood. We were standing at the edge of a life we would never return to. The diagnosis landed between us, heavy and final, changing every plan, every promise, every quiet dream we shared. I felt time split into before and after, and we were already trapped in after. Nothing would ever sound normal again. Not laughter, not silence, not sleep either. Life did not stop, but it changed its shape. We learned new routines and softer expectations. I wrote notes for him. He thanked me like a stranger, then held my hand like home. Some days were clear, others were fog. Love became action instead of memory. We stopped planning far ahead. We focused on mornings, on breathing, on saying names out loud. He still says he is fine. I still smile, knowing fine means something different now. This is our chapter of courage, loss, and quiet strength. It is not the story we wanted, but it is the one we are living. And we will live it fully together for as long as time allows. We are learning to measure hope in minutes, not years, and to find meaning in showing up, even when the future refuses to promise anything. But love remains steady through it all, for us. For more emotional updates, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.